And welcome to another Quiques Awesome Collectibles YouTube channel unboxing and mega haul with jokes. This will be my episode number 3 with jokes. I hope you enjoy today's episode. Just to let everybody know, this time San Diego Comic Con was really hard to get a hold of. The virtual con, as all you guys know. The servers crashed. It was hilarious because I could not get all the ones I wanted. Alright, so let's start with the joke. Just so you know, this first Funko Pop is a Toucan. He represents San Diego Comic Con. I was lucky enough to get the Comic Con sticker. Alright, let's start with the jokes. This one's called Time is Relative. A turtle is crossing the road when he's mugged by 2 snails. When the police show up and they ask him what happened, the shaking turtle replies, "I don't know. It all happened too fast." That was pretty good. I really enjoyed that one. Alright, let's see. Hope you're having a great day today. This one's called Unsolved Mysteries. Why do they lock gas station bathrooms? Are they afraid someone will clean them? Alright, start off with the next one. A guy spots a sign outside a house that reads, "Talking dog for sale." Intrigued, he walks in. "So what have you done with your life?" he asks the dog. I've led a very full life," says the dog. "I live in the Alps rescuing avalanche victims. Then I've served my country in Iraq, and now I spend my days reading to the residents of a retirement home." The guy is flabbergasted. He asks the dog owner, "Why on earth would you want to get rid of an incredible dog like that?" The owner says, "Because he's a liar. He never did any of that." I would want a dog like that. He knows he could be a great salesman. Let's see. A car hit an elderly man. The paramedic says, "Are you comfortable?" The man says, "I make a good living." A poodle and a collie are walking together when the poodle suddenly unloads on his friend. "My life is a mess," he says. "My owner is mean, my girlfriend ran away with a schnauzer, and I'm as jittery as a cat." "Why don't you go see a psychiatrist?" suggests the collie. "I can't," says the poodle. "I'm not allowed on the couch." That was pretty good. Let's see. A man shocked by how his buddy is dressed asks him, "How long have you been wearing that bra?" The friend says, "Ever since my wife found it in the glove compartment." The easiest time to add insult to injury is when you're signing somebody's cast. Alright, let's see. A ventriloquist is performing with his dummy on his lap. He's telling a dumb blonde joke when a young platinum hair beauty jumps to her feet. "Who gives you the right to stereotype blondes that way?" she demands. "What does hair color have to do with my worth as a human being?" Flustered, the ventriloquist begins to stammer out an apology. "You keep out of this," she yells. "I'm talking to the little jerk on your knee." So, hope you comment, watch in full, and let me know how your day's going. I like to read all the comments that you guys post. The doctor says, Larry, everything looks great. How are you doing mentally and emotionally? Are you at peace with God? Larry replies, God and I are tight. He knows I have a poor eyesight, so he's fixed it so when I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, poof, the light goes on. When I'm done, poof, the light goes off. Wow, that's incredible, the doctor says. A little later in the day, the doctor calls Larry's wife. Bonnie, he says, Larry is doing fine, but I had to call you because I'm in awe of his relationship with God. Is it true that he gets up during the night and poofs, the light goes on in the bathroom, and when he's done, poof, the light goes off? Oh no, exclaims Bonnie, he's peeing in the refrigerator again. So this one's one of my favorites, the Funko Soda limited edition Crunchberry Beast. So far, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this is a great line. I enjoy it. I like the soda. The figures are pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this unboxing. Let's continue with some jokes. So let's see if you enjoyed it. For his birthday, an old man's nephew secretly hires a call girl for him. When he answers the door, she's standing there in a slinky black dress. She says, I'm here to give you super pleasure. After thinking for a minute, the old man replies, okay, so I'll have the soup. I didn't get it. Hopefully you got it. Let's see. And then if you have some jokes, feel free to tell them at the bottom of my comment section. Alright, this one's called a great fitting suit. The fellow was being sold a very cheap suit, but the left arm is a lot longer than the right arm, he complained. That's why the suit is such a bargain, the sales clerk explained. Just cock your left shoulder up a little like this and tuck this left lapel under your chin a bit like this. But the right leg is way too short, argued the customer. No problem, the sales clerk answered. Just keep your right knee bent a little at all times, walk like this, and no one will notice. That's why this suit is only $30. Finally, the fellow bought the suit, cocked his left shoulder into the air, tucked the suit's left lip under his chin, bent his right knee, and limped out of the store toward his car. Two doctors happened along and noticed him. Good heavens, the first doctor said to the second. Look at that poor crippled fellow. Yeah, answered the second doctor, but doesn't that suit fit him great? This one's called Holy Spelling Mistake. A young monk arrives at the monastery. He is assigned to helping the other monks in copying the old laws of the church by hand. He notices, however, that all the monks are copying from copies, not from the original manuscript. So the new monk goes to the head monk to question this, pointing out that if someone made it even a smaller error in the first copy, it would never be picked up. In fact, that the error will be continued in all the subsequent copies. The head monk says, "You make a good point, my son." He goes down into the dark caves underneath the monastery where the original manuscripts are held in a locked vault. Hours go by and nobody sees the head monk. The young monk gets worried and goes down to look for him. He sees him banging his head against the wall and wailing, "We missed the R, we missed the R, we missed the R." "Father," cries the young monk. "What's wrong?" The head monk, with tears in his eyes, replies, "The word is celebrate." That one's pretty good. Let's see. This one's called Seeing Eye Dogs. Two guys were out walking their dogs on a hot day when they passed by a bar. The first guy says, "Let's go in for a pint." The second guy says, "They won't let us in with our dogs." First guy, "Sure they will, just follow my lead." He goes up to the pub and sure enough the bouncer says, "I can't let you in here with that dog." He replies, "Oh, I'm a blind and this is my seeing eye dog." The bouncer says, "Okay, then come on in." The second guy sees this and does the same thing. The bouncer, "You can't come in here with your dog." He replies, "I'm a blind and this is my seeing eye dog." The bouncer responds, "You have a chihuahua for a seeing eye dog?" The second guy explains, "They gave me a chihuahua?" That one was pretty funny. Let's see. It was called Messy Drinker. A skeleton walks into a bar. The bartender says, What will you have?" The skeleton says, "Give me a beer and a mop." So, right now, this is one of my also favorites. This is one of the best office pops ever. The unicorn doll. If you guys remember it, he was selling the dolls and then Toby wanted one, but he didn't get what he wanted. This was called Bigger in Texas. A blind man visits Texas. When he gets to his hotel room, he feels the bed. "Wow, this bed is big." "Everything is big in Texas," says the bellhop. The man heads downstairs to the bar, settles into a huge bar stool and orders a beer. A mug is placed between his hands. "Wow, these drinks are big." The bartender replies, "Everything is big in Texas." After downing a few, the blind man asks where the bathroom is. "Second door to your right," says the bartender. The blind man heads for the bathroom but accidentally enters the third door, which leads to the swimming pool, and he falls in. Popping his head up from under the water and flailing his arm, he shouts, "Don't flush! Don't flush!" And now we have Pokemon. This one's pretty cool. It's a Vulpix. I like the flockiness of all of the Pokemon ones. Normally I don't get the Pokemon ones, but the flock I cannot resist. Alright, let's start with a new one. This one's called Moving Stairs. I like an escalator because an escalator can never break. It can only become stairs. Let's see. Two men are adrift in a lifeboat for days. While rummaging through the boat provisions, one of the men stumbles across an old lamp. When he touches it, a genie comes forth. This particular genie, however, states that she can only deliver one wish, not the standard three. Without giving it much thought, one man blurs out, "Mike, the entire ocean into beer." The genie claps her hand and the entire sea turns into broom. The other man looks disgustedly at the one who made the wish and says, "Nice going. Now we're going to have to pee in the boat." Brown bears versus grizzly bears. A Canadian park ranger is giving some ramblers a warning about bears. Brown bears are usually harmless. They avoid contact with humans, so we suggest you attach small bells to your rucksacks and give the bears time to get out of your way. However, grizzly bears are extremely dangerous. If you see any grizzly bear droppings, leave the area immediately. "So how do we know if they are grizzly bear droppings?" asks one of the ramblers. "It's easy," replies the ranger. "They're full of small bells." Let's see. The village blacksmith finally found an apprentice willing to work hard for long hours. The blacksmith instructed the boy, "When I take the shoe out of the fire, I'll lay it on the anvil, and when I nod my head, you hit it with this hammer." The apprentice did just as he was told. Now he's the village blacksmith. Let's see. A pessimist and an optimist. There were once twin boys aged 6 that had developed extreme personalities. One was a pessimist and the other a total optimist. Concerned, their parents took them to a psychiatrist. First, the psychiatrist treated the pessimist. Trying to brighten his outlook, the psychiatrist took him to a room filled with toys. But instead of yelping with delight, the little boy burst into tears. "What's the matter?" the psychiatrist asked. "Don't you want to play with any of the toys?" "Yes," the little boy bawled, "but if I did, I'd only break them." Next, the psychiatrist treated the optimist. Trying to dampen his outlook, the psychiatrist took him to a room piled to the ceiling with horse manure. But instead of wrinkling his nose in disgust, the optimist climbed to the top of the pile and began gratefully digging out scoop after scoop with his bare hands. "What are you doing?" baffled the psychiatrist asked. The little boy replied, "With all this manure, there must be a pony in here somewhere." And this is one of my favorites. I was not expecting them to make a Funko AD Icons Jack-in-a-Box. Just so you know, this was not available at Jack-in-a-Box. You can only get it online, and it was an online exclusive. So this one's a really awesome one. He's posing just like Superman. Alright, this one's TikTok. "Doctor, I'm sorry, but you suffer from a terminal illness and have only 10 to live." Patient, "What do you mean 10? 10 to what? Months, weeks?" Doctor, 9. A Russian goes to Ukraine. As a Russian prepares to cross the Ukrainian border, the border guard asks, "Occupation?" "No," says the Russian, "just visiting." That was a little joke. Alright, this one's called Car Check. Two men were driving home one night when one asked the other to check if the car's indicators are working. He promptly sticks his head out the window and says, "Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no." I hope you're enjoying these jokes. This one's called Secret Agent Murphy. A secret agent was sent to Ireland to pick up sensitive information from an agent called Murphy. His instructions were to walk around town using a code phrase until he met his fellow agent. He found himself on a desolate country road and finally ran into a farmer. "Hello," said the agent. "I'm looking for a man called Murphy." "Well, your luck," said the farmer. "As it happens, there's a village right over the hill where a butcher is called Murphy. The baker is called Murphy, and 3 widows are called Murphy. In fact, my name is Murphy." "Acha," thought the agent, "he's my man." So he whispered the secret code. "The sun is shining, the grass is growing, and the cows are ready for milking." "Oh," said the farmer, "you're looking for Murphy the spy. He's in the village over the other direction." This one's a pretty cool Funko soda. It's Moss Man, limited to only 3,000 figures. What I really enjoyed about this one when I first saw it was going to be flocked. I don't think I would have gotten it if it wasn't flocked, but the flock made it even cooler. This one's called A Family Affair. A man gets home early from work and hears strange noises coming from the bedroom. He rushes upstairs to find his wife naked on the bed, sweating and panting. "What's up?" he says. "I'm having a heart attack," cries the woman. He rushes downstairs to grab the phone, but just as he's dialing, his 4-year-old son comes up and says, Daddy, Uncle Ted's hiding in your closet and he's got no clothes on." The guy slams the phone down and storms upstairs into the bedroom, walks past his screaming wife, rips open the wardrobe door. Sure enough, there is his brother, totally naked, cowering on the closet floor. "What are you doing?" says the husband. "My wife's having a heart attack and you're running around naked, scaring the kids?" So, comment below, let me know what jokes you like. What kind of jokes would you like to hear? So, let's continue. This one's called Follow the Light. A guy walks into a dentist's office and says, "I think I'm a moth." The dentist replies, "You shouldn't be here. You should be seeing a psychiatrist." The guy replies, "I am seeing a psychiatrist." The dentist says, "Well then, what are you doing here?" And the guy says, "Your light was on." This one's called Castaway. A man was stranded on a desert island for 20 years. When a Navy ship finally spots him, the captain comes ashore and notices 3 huts. "What are they used for?" the captain asks. The hut one on the left is where I live," says the man. "And the one on the right is where I go to church. So what about the hut in the middle?" The man sneers, "That's a church I used to attend." So, as you can see, this one's a Ninja Turtles Mikey. This one's pretty cool. Comes with a surfboard. He has peaks of shorts. I'm so happy I was able to get this one for retail. Again, this is a really awesome haul. Hope you're enjoying it as we continue some more jokes on. And as always, thank you for watching. And as always, please like, share, and watch in full. Thank you. Alright, let's continue with the good jokes. This one's called Chicken is for Dinner. "Doctor, I think my wife is getting hard of hearing." So the doctor responds, "There's a simple test you can run to see how bad the problem is. Start off 40 feet away from her. In a normal conversational speaking tone, say something and see if she hears you. If not, go 30, then 20. Then so until you get a response." That evening, the man's wife is in the kitchen cooking dinner, and he's in the living room. In a normal tone, he asks, "Honey, what's for supper?" No response. So he moves to the other end of the room and repeats, "Honey, what's for supper?" Still no response. Then he moves into the dining room. What's for supper?" No response. So he walks up to the kitchen door. "Honey, what's for supper?" Again, there's no response. So he walks right up behind her. "Honey, what's for supper?" "For the 5th time, Harry, chicken!" I guess he was the one hard of hearing. Alright, so this one's called Drunk Superman. A man walks into a rooftop bar and takes a seat next to another guy. "What are you drinking?" he asks the guy. "Magic beer," he says. "Oh yeah? What's so magical about it?" Then he shows him. He swigs some beer, dives off the roof, flies around the building, then finally returns to his seat with a triumphant smile. "Amazing," the man says. "Let me try some of that." The man grabs the beer, he goes down on it, leaps off the roof, and plummets 15 stories to the ground. The bartender shakes his head. "You know you're a real jerk when you're drunk, Superman." Always complaining. Every 10 years, the monks in the monastery are allowed to break their vow of silence to speak 2 words. 10 years go by and it's one monk's first chance. He thinks for a second before saying, "Food bad." 10 years later, he says, "Bed hard." It's the big day. A decade later, he gives the head monk a long stare and says, "I quit." "I'm not surprised though," head monk says. "You've been complaining ever since you got here." And I hope you're enjoying. So I hope you're enjoying. This one's really cool. This one, I also got the Comic-Con limited edition sticker. So let's go continue with the jokes. I hope you're enjoying them. I hope you watch this video in full. You like and subscribe and share. All your help is always appreciated. Alright, so let's start this one. Let's start the joke. So there's a mama camel and a baby camel. And so the baby camel starts asking his mama camel, saying, "Mom, you know, can you explain to me everything that we have? For example, why do we have these humps on our back?" And so the mama camel says, these is when there's not enough water. So, while we're walking through the desert, we can survive because we're storing water in our humps. And the baby camel says, "Oh, okay." And then the baby camel asks, "What are why do we have these hoofs?" And so the mama camel says, when we're walking through the desert, they're used so we don't sink and, we don't burn. And so these hoofs are specially made for traveling in the sand. So the baby camel says, "Oh, really cool." And so, "Mom, why do we have these long lashes?" And so mama camel says, the reason that we have these long lashes is so when we're walking through the desert in the hot desert sun, they act as a shades, kind of like humans, so we don't go blinded. And so the baby camel says, "Man, I really love our anatomy." And then the baby camel says, "But why do we need all of this since we're here at the zoo?" That one was pretty good. Okay, let's see. Two pirates, Morty and Soul, meet in a bar. Soul has a patch over one eye, a hook for a hand, and a wooden peg leg. "Ye gads, matey," says Morty. "What happened to you?" Soul says, "Me pirate ship was attacked, and a lucky shot lopped off me leg, so now I have a wooden peg." "And your hand?" asks Morty. When me ship sank, a shark bit my hand off, so now I got me a hook." "Okay, but what's with the eye patch?" "I was standing on a dock, and the biggest seagull I ever saw poops right in my eye." "But you don't go blind from no seagull poop." "True," says Soul, "but it was my first day with the hook." That one was pretty good. Alright, let's go with another one. Rude pancakes. A mother asks her sons what they want for breakfast. The first little boy says, "I'll have some effing pancakes." The mother angrily sends him to his room for cursing. She glares at the other little boy and asks, "What do you want for breakfast?" The second boy says, "Well, I sure don't want the effing pancakes." Alright, let's continue. This one's really cool. This is a Pokemon MEWTWO edition Flacked. It's pretty big. Alright, this one's called Barrel of Beer. A man comes into Mrs. Smith's store and says, "There's been an accident at the brewery. Your husband fell into a vat of beer and drowned." Mrs. Smith wails, "Oh, the poor man, he never had a chance." The man says, "I don't know about that. He got out 3 times to go to the bathroom." Alright, we're almost coming to the end of this awesome SDCC haul. We got time for one more joke. It's called Fishing Rink. A guy goes ice fishing for the very first time. All of a sudden, he hears a voice. There are no fish under the ice. He ignores it and moves to another area, cuts a hole and tosses his line in. Again, he hears the booming voice. There are no fish under the ice. He nervously looks up and asks, "Lord, is that you?" "No, this is the rink manager." So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And right now, I am going to say one more quick joke. I hope you enjoy it. This one's called The Lie Detector. Father buys a lie detector that makes a loud beep whenever somebody says, "Oh wait, I already said this joke." Sorry. Let's see. It's called Dragon Lady. A hobo knocks on the door of the St. George and the Dragon Inn. The landlady answers, Could you give a poor man something to eat? Asked the hobo. No, yells the woman, sun in his face. A few minutes later, the hobo knocks again. Now, what do you want? The woman asked. Can I have a few words with George? I didn't get that one. Hope you got it. Let's see if I can get one more. My dog is smarter than your dog. A couple of dog owners are arguing about whose pet is smarter. My dog is so smart, says the first owner, that every morning he waits for the paper boy to come around. He tips the kid and then brings the newspaper to me, along with my morning coffee. I know, says the second dog owner. How do you know? My dog told me. And so we're coming to an end. I hope you really enjoyed this haul. I hope you watch and stay tuned for more Quiques Awesome Collectibles on YouTube 24/7. Please share, like, and subscribe. Have a beautiful day.